I'm playing every day now that summer. I was like, I'm going to the Air Force, And then, well, there was about a 6-week span. I made about $150,000 gambling because we were playing for money with everybody. And now
how old were you, 18-ish?
I wasn't 18 yet.
No.
I was 17.
Yeah.
So then they, and that's what everybody did. They played for money there all the time.
Now I have to ask you this, okay? And that kind of answers my next question about, did you get into the gambling scene originally? Which I knew, obviously, because Brian was a known gambler, road player, and he made it over here. But at that point, when here you are, you're a teenager, you're showing great promise, your game's coming up. Were you simply playing people that came into that room, or did they start taking you around the island at that point?
I just went everywhere and played, but everybody played out of Hawaiian Brian's anyway. So and everybody came, and sometimes we would go to Maui and play the Maui guys and all that. And it was just, I made so much money that summer that I had a dilemma. So now I'm asking the older guys. I gravitated to the guys that were in their 40s. The owner of Hawaiian Brian's, Brian himself. And I kept asking them. I said, what do I do? I'm set to go. And then everybody's like, well. One guy told me, Carlton. He said, we don't know what kind of military man you're gonna be. He said, but we can all see what kind of pool player you're gonna be. Then Aki, who's the owner there, Aki told me, he says, sometimes you gotta do what you don't want to do to get where you want to be. So what do you want to be?
Good word.
And then I was like, I said, I want to be the best pool player in the world. And he said, well, I don't know anybody that went to the military and came back and became that. So, but you gotta make that decision now.
That was something specific that I wanted to ask you, because when your game was developing like that, you're beating all these people, you're making all this money. The Air Force can't afford you at this point.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, and you're a huge patriot, I might add, by the way, for the record. Huge patriot. You love the country. I love what you stand for. But Uncle Sam couldn't afford you at that point, right? You had to put your servanthood in later in a different way. But basically, you're making all this money. You're playing pool, and that was my real true question I wanted to ask you was your goal the U.S. Open? Was your goal to be the best player in the world? When you were that young, what was your specific goal? Because I know that there's no possibility that somebody accomplished what you've accomplished in pool without having goals.
Yeah, so that time, the first 1989, it was the first year I left with Brian to go. I never left Hawaii to play pool.
So he took you out.
Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna go, and and that whole time I was, that year I was, every time I had made some money, I would give Brian money, because he said, I said, why are you gonna give you money? He said, because you're a pool player. He said, you're gonna go broke sooner.
Right.
It's just inevitable. The way you gamble.